Hello, everybody. It's your friendly neighborhood Canvas admin, Jake, here. And we are back today to talk about grading Passback. That's right, getting your grades to go from Canvas gradebook to your PowerTeacher gradebook without you having to do anything. Okay, that's not true. There's a little bit you have to do, but there's not a lot you have to do. There are a couple steps you need to take to make it happen at the outset, though. What it boils down to is this. You need to import your PowerTeacher categories, your gradebook categories. You're going to put your assignments into those correct categories and make sure that the box is checked that says, hey, send this to PowerTeacher. And that's it. That's really it. I mean, there's really more. There's always more. It's never that simple, right? But it really is that simple with just a couple of caveats. So let's go ahead and walk through how to do this together so that you can see it happening and see just how easy it is for you. So for the purposes of demonstration, we're going to jump into Canvas. Here we are inside my Canvas instance, and I am going to go ahead and pick on my wife. Sorry, my dear. She did say I could do this, so I'm not completely surprising her with this, but I'm going to pick on my wife. This is one of her Canvas classes. It will work the same in your Canvas class. Okay, so from inside your Canvas course, you need to go to your Assignments tab. So I'm going to go over here to Assignments. I'm going to click on Assignments. And up will pull all of the assignments. Now, before we actually get into this, I do want to take a moment and talk about some vocabulary here and make sure we're on the same page, if you will. Canvas, if you recall, has things called assignment groups. When you create an assignment, you can place it into whichever assignment group you would like to place it into. When you're on your assignments page, you see these gray bars across the top. These are your assignment groups. Till now, you've probably just been rocking the default assignment group called Assignments. You might have some imported assignments if you have imported anything from other teachers or from the Commons. Maybe you've even created some custom groups. You have one called Essays and one called Homework, maybe. That's fine. What Canvas calls assignment groups, Powerschool is calling categories. So you should be familiar with PowerTeacher Gradebook and know that your assignments inside PowerTeacher Gradebook have categories. In order for grading Passback to work with Canvas and PowerTeacher, your assignment groups in Canvas must match the categories in PowerTeacher Gradebook. So if you have a category called Homework in PowerTeacher Gradebook, you need to have a category or an assignment group called Homework in Canvas. If you have a category called Classwork in PowerTeacher Gradebook, you need to have an assignment group called Classwork here in Canvas. And more specifically than that, we can't just have them named the same. We actually have to import them from PowerTeacher to make sure they are exactly right. So that's what we're going to do. First thing we're going to do is import our categories. So from our Assignments tab, which is right here, I'm going to ignore all of this. I'm just going to come over to the right in the upper corner where I have 3 vertical dots. I'm going to click on my 3 vertical dots, and I'm going to choose Import Assignment Groups. Clicking now. I'm going to get a message saying Import Assignment Groups. It will say, Success! Hooray! It worked. Okay, I'm going to X this off. And now I don't see anything right away, so I'm going to wait just a couple moments.
A few moments later.
And when I click refresh, look down here at the bottom, it has gone ahead and pulled in all the categories from PowerTeacher Gradebook for me. So these right here, Project, Lab, Classwork, Quiz, Homework, Test, these are all the categories that Hope County Schools has set up inside our PowerTeacher Gradebook for us. Of course, if you're in a different district, it would look different than this, but I am leading this from Hope County Schools. These are our categories. So here they are. You will be able to tell that these are the PowerTeacher categories by looking right next to it. There's a little icon that indicates that this is a PowerTeacher Pro category. Okay, so we've got our categories and we've got our assignments. The thing to know is that none of your assignments will sync to PowerTeacher Pro unless they are in the proper category. So picking on my wife again, if I look here under Imported Assignments, this assignment, Safety, Opportunity, and Accountability, there's no way for this to sync back to PowerTeacher Gradebook because it's not in one of these assignment categories, assignment groups, Canvas calls them. Fortunately, it's really easy for us to move it there. Literally all we have to do is drag it into the one we want it to go to. So if this safety, opportunity, and accountability assignment is supposed to be under classwork, then I'm just going to drag it down to the classwork tab. Boom. Now it's there. If Flipgrid name is supposed to be in one of these, I can place it there as well. I'm not going to drag all of these around because I don't want to make more work for her to have to go back and clean up after I'm done. But imagine that I have dragged all of these assignments into their proper categories down here. So the next thing I have to do is, if you look over to the right over here, there's this little X'd off circle icon. This is not currently syncing, so I'd have to turn on the sync for this. So I'm going to click this and turn it on. See, now I've got a green check mark. So now this assignment will automatically sync to PowerTeacher Gradebook under the classwork category for me. The grades will go back there. I don't have to enter them myself. Hooray! Hooray! You only have to do this for assignments that maybe you have created already. When you create new assignments from scratch, you will not have to do what I did right here. I'm going to show you that in just a second, okay? But for any assignments that maybe you have created already, if you want them to sync, drag and drop them into the correct category and check the little button that says Sync to Sys, okay? I'm actually going to uncheck that for now, and I'm going to put this back because I don't want to mess up her gradebook too much. So I'm just going to put that back, pretend like I never did it. Okay, so that's if you have assignments already created. What if you are creating new assignments? Well, fortunately, all you have to do is check a couple boxes from right inside the assignment creation tab. So I'm going to create a new assignment. You're going to give it a name, of course. I'm going to call this Passback Example. Instructions go here. You would set all of this up as you normally would, but now it is going to be very important. Where it wasn't before, it is now going to be important that you choose the assignment group to put this assignment into. And for this, remember, in Canvas, assignment groups are what categories are in PowerTeacher Gradebook. So if I click this drop down, I now have all of those categories that came from PowerTeacher, right? So if this is going to be homework, I would choose homework. Boom, there it goes. Everything else I set up is normal. All of this is the same. The only exception is there is one more checkbox I need to pay attention to, and it's right here where it says Sync to Sys, which is Student Information System. That's the fancy 10-cent word for Powerschool. We want to send this assignment to Powerschool, so I'm going to check that box. And it's as simple as that. Everything else gets saved exactly the same. When I'm ready, I click Save, or save and publish for students to see it. I'm not going to do that now because I don't want to put a dummy example out there for her students to actually see. So I'm just going to click save. And when we come back to the assignments page and I look down under homework, look, there it is already. Boom. I don't see the little sync thing because I haven't published that assignment yet. But once I publish that assignment, you'll see the little passback symbol be checked as well. There is something else that I want to make sure that I mention right now. And that is this, okay? Your assignments must have unique names in order for them to pass back to Powerschool properly. I don't see a problem with any of these assignments here, but if you have an assignment that students do every week on Monday that's called Monday Exit Ticket, okay? You can only have one assignment called Monday Exit Ticket, because if you have two assignments called Monday Exit Ticket, PowerTeacher will not import them. It will only import the first one, none of the others. So you really need to think about when you're naming your assignments, how to keep those named something unique. So maybe you still call it Monday Exit Ticket, but you also put the date at the beginning of it. September 9th, Monday's Exit Ticket. All right, so that way it is named something different from your next one. So keep that in mind. Your assignments must have unique names in order for them to sync to PowerTeacher. All right, I'm just gonna have, right now, I just don't wanna make her stuff messy. So I'm actually going to just delete this assignment that I just created out of here because I don't want her to see, or her kids to see, anything that's not supposed to be there. Let's talk about syncing, by the way. Okay, so you've imported your categories. Awesome. You've made sure that checkbox for Sync to Sys is turned on. How do you make the grades actually go back to PowerTeacher after doing that stuff? What do I hit? Well, good news. Hooray, you don't actually have to do anything. It is going to sync every night for you automatically. So you don't have to worry about it. However, if you would like to send grades sooner, like you want to say, I know it's supposed to sync tonight at midnight, but I would like to send these grades back right now, this very minute. you can do that, okay? You can force it to sync sooner, and you're going to do that from your grade book. So if I go to grades, and I've blurred out student names here because I don't need you seeing any student identifying information, of course. But once you're in your grade book, what you can do is come into the Actions tab right here, click on Actions, and you see this button that says Sync to Sys. If I click this button, and I'm not going to do it right now again because I'm playing around with live grades in someone else's course right now, so I don't want to do that. But if I click Sync to Sys, it's going to force a sync right now of all the grades from Canvas back into Powerschool for me. So I won't have to wait that long. That might be super useful if it's, say, the day that grades are due. They're due by noon. You have them entered at 9 o'clock, but it's not supposed to sync till midnight. So you can hit this send the sync button, start Sync to Sys. Right now, it'll sync things over to show up in PowerTeacher Gradebook. Now, it doesn't show up like immediately. It takes a little bit, but it's sooner than 24 hours at least. You can always check on the status of the sync, by the way, from here in your course menu. If you look on the course menu, you'll have this new option called Grade Sync. And when you click on Grade Sync, it will show you the history of when your grades last synced to PowerTeacher, what grades those were, and if there were any problems. Now, she hasn't had any grades actually sync over, so I don't have that to show you right now. But once you have grades actually sync, you will see exactly what I'm talking about. They'll show up right there. So getting grades to go from Canvas to Powerschool is really as simple as that. There's nothing else that you need to do. It is literally import your categories, place your assignments in the categories, and make sure you have that check mark checked off in the box that says, hey, send this to Powerschool. There are a few things that I want you to know about. So a few little gotchas or lookouts, okay? First, Canvas does not receive any grade information from Powerschool, all right? This is a one-way street. Information goes from Canvas to Powerschool, not the other way around. What that means is, for any assignments that you have turned on to sync to PowerTeacher, that you need, and you're going to change some of those grades or adjust them, those changes need to be made in Canvas, not in PowerTeacher Pro, right? And of course, this only applies to grades that you've chosen to turn on syncing. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, I don't remember, but you don't have to sync all of your grades. If you have an assignment in Canvas that is a formative assessment that maybe you don't want the grade to go into PowerTeacher Pro, then all you have to do is, not check off that box that says send this to PowerTeacher, and then it won't even sync over there. It doesn't matter. You can still give the assignment, but it won't sync the grade to PowerTeacher Pro. But for anything that is syncing to PowerTeacher Pro, you need to make the changes in Canvas, not the other way around. So, for example, if you have a grade that you need to change for a student, and you go into PowerTeacher to adjust that grade, the next time the grades are synced, what's going to happen is it's going to sync up, it's going to look at Canvas and say, hey, this is what it's supposed to be, and it's going to take the Canvas grade and erase the grade that you changed in PowerTeacher. Right? It's going to take what is in Canvas and sync it to PowerTeacher Pro, not the other way around. So if you want to change Johnny's grade from a 50 to a 60, you need to change it in Canvas so that the next time it syncs, it'll say, oh, this says 50, Canvas says it's supposed to be 60, I'm going to make it be 60. So change the grades in Canvas, not in PowerTeacher Pro. Okay? Another thing you should know, if you push a Canvas assignment into Powerschool, and later you delete that assignment from Canvas, it will not automatically delete from PowerTeacher. You have to go in and manually delete it from PowerTeacher Pro, okay? And that's important because PowerTeacher Pro is where the students are going to be checking their grades. They're not going to be checking their grades in Canvas. And why is that? Well, that is because all the weighting for your assignments, right? All of that happens inside PowerTeacher Pro, not inside of Canvas. Now, Canvas does have weighting and stuff. You might have messed around with the categories and seen how you can put assignment weights and all that kind of stuff inside of Canvas. It can do that. But because our grading system is actually PowerTeacher Pro, none of the weighting inside of Canvas matters. All of the weighting happens inside PowerTeacher Pro. So that's where students need to go and see grades. They're not going to see them inside of Canvas. So you're going to make your changes to the grades, to the numerical values, to the completions, all that kind of stuff inside of Canvas. But the official back end, right? The part that matters happens in PowerTeacher Pro. That's what people are going to see for their grades. So just make sure if you delete an assignment out of Canvas that you go in and delete it out of PowerTeacher Pro as well. All right, a few other things you should be aware of, and then I'm going to let you go. All right, so Canvas only passes back grades and assignments in courses or in sections that have a SysID. What that means basically is if your course is not an actual school course, you can't pass grades back from it. So if you have a course for an after-school club or tutoring that wasn't created by Powerschool, it's not a Powerschool course. It's just a course that you have for other reasons. You cannot pass back grades from that course to Powerschool. You can only pass back grades from a course that has a SysID or a section that has a SysID. Something else to keep in mind, if there's an assignment that you create and you give someone more points than the maximum, so say you award inside of Canvas, you give somebody 30 points out of 20. Canvas is going to convert those points to extra credit in Powerschool. So when Powerschool gets that, it's going to take those extra 10 points and assign them as extra credit to that student. So be careful unless that's what you want to have happen. A couple things that this syncing does not do, okay? Canvas cannot pass back anything from the Learning Mastery gradebook in Canvas. So if you are using Learning Mastery gradebook, it won't pass back to PowerTeacher Pro. You've got to use the regular PowerTeacher, or you've got to use the regular Canvas gradebook. If you don't even know what I mean by the Learning Mastery gradebook, then that means you aren't using it. Don't even worry about it. Okay, I already mentioned, but Powerschool does not pass back weighted assignment information. All of the assignment weighting has to be done in Powerschool, and for most of us, those weights are set already by the district. Just know that it has to be set in Powerschool, not in Canvas. Powerschool is the king for grades. All right. Canvas will pass back late designations. So if you designate an assignment as turned in late, that will get passed back, but it does not pass back designations that state missing. So keep that in mind. And then I also mentioned this earlier. I want to mention this again, that your assignments must have unique names in order for the sync to work properly. Okay? If an assignment with an identical name exists in Powerschool, Canvas does not sync any grades. The assignment information will not be duplicated. So if you have 2 Monday exit tickets, it won't say, oh, here's a new Monday exit ticket. I'm going to make a new assignment called Monday exit ticket. Nope. It's just going to say, I'm confused, and not sync anything. So unique names. All right, my final words on the way out the door. Remember, Powerschool is king, so set up your stuff to sync back to Powerschool, but students are going to be checking in Powerschool, so you want to make sure that everything is set there. And finally, you don't have to sync everything. Sync the stuff you want to show up in Powerschool for grades. If you don't want it synced, if it's not a graded assignment, you might not even have to sync it over into PowerTeacher in the first place. All right, so this has been a real quick, okay, maybe not real quick, that's an exaggeration. This has been a moderately quick walkthrough of how to set up grading passback between Canvas and PowerTeacher Pro. If you need help with this or anything else Canvas related, please let me know and I will do my very best to assist you. Until next time, see ya.